The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn is making moves. The Jets have several new coaches, including a new defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator. Who's next? Who's the OC? We'll talk about that and more when Matt O'Leary joins us in his weekly spot on the show. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I wanted this job. Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. And I'm ready for it. Because it's all about the Jets. This is bigger than me. I look forward to this. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go on a Thursday. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you like the video. Reminder, AGHC shirts at jakeasman.com are live. We also have them in a hoodie form. Get it in green, get it in black. Check it out, jakeasman.com. If you want an AGHC shirt or hoodie. So check that out. And once again, thank you to listener Sham for being the one who designed the silhouette of AG for us to use. Let's say hello right now to the great Matt O'Leary, one of our favorite Jet content creators. And Matt, I hope you don't mind. Every time you come on, I'm now Jake O. Asman for the duration of the program.
I love it. It's almost like on St. Patrick's Day when everyone's a little Irish. Same thing applies here. Jake O. Asman is always welcome.
Everyone always assumes I'm Irish anyway, so I figured, you know what? If we're having O'Leary on, today I'm Irish.
Perfect. Love it.
So we got a lot to talk about. The Jets have themselves a new defensive coordinator. Reportedly, they have themselves a new special teams coordinator. They have a new offensive line coach. We'll start with the DC job, Matt. Steve Wilks is reportedly the new DC for Aaron Glenn. What was your initial reaction to that?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. Like, this is the name that's been floated around the most pretty much since the hire actually took place of Aaron Glenn. It was widely reported that Steve Wilks, he was very interested in adding him to his coaching staff. And I really like the decision because he is a, veteran coach. He's a little bit older. He's been on a lot of different staffs, has served as a defensive coordinator in a few different places. And even, albeit a very short period of time, was a head coach in this league. He had the 1 year in Arizona and then was the interim head coach in Carolina. And I thought he did a pretty good job as the interim. He went 6-6 over their final 12 games. I think their ideologies align a lot, which is good. They're going to be a 4-down front, which is expected. Aaron Glenn likes to blitz a lot more than the previous regime does, and so does Steve Wilks. When he was with the Carolina Panthers a few years ago, they were one of the top 5 teams in the league in blitz rate. So that's a change that I would expect to see, but this is someone that I think Aaron Glenn could lean on early in his head coaching career as someone with experience.
My big thing was, if you're going to have a first-time head coach, you better get some real experience on the staff, especially when Aaron Glenn says that he's not going to call the defense, which is interesting because D'Amico Ryans, for example, we're going to hear a lot of D'Amico comps for Glenn because of the similarities with their backgrounds and former players taking over franchises they played in. D'Amico calls the defense down in Houston, so I was curious to see if Glenn would do the same with the Jets, and I like the fact that he's not, and you're bringing a guy in Wilks who's been a head coach before, but he's been a really good defensive coordinator for a long time. And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, feels like he's very flexible with the type of scheme he can run.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. He's done a little bit of 3-4, done some 4-3 as well. And I would expect the Jets to continue their use of 4-down linemen. Just makes sense with the kind of personnel that they have. And I agree with you. I like that Glenn's not going to call the plays. And maybe it's recency bias because we just saw Jeff Ulbrich try to do it and it went terrible because it felt like he was in way over his head. But to me, this speaks to something that Aaron Glenn has said for a while now, that he's not just another defensive coach. He's going to, if you're hiring him, you're hiring a head football coach, and you spend as much time with the offense and the defense. And, if he wants to be that CEO style, which I think is important, then I'm good with him not calling the defensive plays.
So you have confidence in Steve Wilkes Booth to be the guy for the Jets.
This is an insane graphic. I absolutely love it. I am.
Shout out to NYJ Matt, who I saw posted this on Twitter yesterday, and I was dying laughing.
This is just incredible content. I wish I was this creative.
Unbelievable. We're talking with Matt O'Leary. If you're just tuning in, hit the like button. We're reacting to the staff hires that Aaron Glenn has made. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Also, people, I want everyone in the raffle. Gift a membership for your chance to win a signed Joe Willie Namath autographed helmet with display case and certificate of authenticity. That's our grand prize in Asmaniac raffle number 14. The second place prize, hard to call this second place, but signed Joe Klecko helmet. Third place, signed Mark Gastineau helmet. Fourth place, signed AG Coach Glenn photo. So those are the top prizes for the raffle. Gift the membership to be in our next raffle. Other hires Aaron Glenn made yesterday, Matt. What was your reaction to Chris Banjo being the new special teams coordinator? He's coming over from Denver.
I'm really excited about him. He's very young. He's 34 years old, and he's only been an assistant special teams coordinator. But if you're getting high praise from Sean Payton, who he coached under the last couple of years, and Mike Westhoff, who is one of, if not the best special teams coach of all time, that's a really good sign. And another note that I didn't realize until a little bit after, when Chris Banjo was in the league, his defensive backs coach was Aaron Glenn. So there's that connection too. We know how much respect that Aaron Glenn has for, some of his mentors, Sean Payton being one of them. So not surprised to see him, pick someone that was recommended by Sean Payton. And again, I love that Westhoff, while he's not going to be having an official role as a coach on this team, seems like he's advising in the hiring process and will be around during training camp. So I think there's a lot of upside with this hire. I really do.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The fact that Peyton gave his blessing and Mike Westhoff, even more importantly in my mind, is on board with this, that's exciting, because if there's anything that Mike Westhoff knows, it's how to coach special teams, and he can identify guys who are cut out to coach special teams in today's NFL. And look, Brant Boyer, I don't think was terrible. He obviously was pretty good for a while with the Jets. He survived a lot of different regimes, but didn't it kind of feel like it got stale at the end? Like, I think it's a good thing that they're starting clean with a new special teams coordinator coming in.
Yeah, 100%. And unfortunately, the last year didn't end well for him. You had the kicking woes that they felt like they were very stubborn with. I also thought they were stubborn with the return game. They kept tossing Xavier Gibson out there. He seemed like he had a never-ending leash because of, week 1 in 2023. I just think it's time for a new voice. He was here through a bunch of different regimes and had some good years and some not so great years. He ends up getting a job in San Francisco, so he'll follow Robert Saleh there. But I agree with you. I think it was just time, time for a new voice and, going a little bit on the younger side, which I think is okay.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're talking with Matt O'Leary. The other coach that reportedly Aaron Glenn has hired is a new offensive line coach. The Jets are hiring Steve Hayden from the Detroit Lions as their new O-line coach. He coached tight ends there, but previously in Arizona, he has experience as an assistant O-line coach. Look, to me, we're just putting all our faith in Aaron Glenn here, right? I have no idea of knowing if Steve Hayden is a good O-line coach or not.
No, I don't think there's any way to tell now. It is a little unorthodox, right? Because you see, he spent most of his coaching career as a tight ends coach, but there is a lot of overlap with some of the techniques and the blocking, at least on that side of things, from the tight end to offensive line. And you look at Detroit, man, like over the last few years, they've been one of the best offensive lines in the league. You look at the tight ends in Detroit, they've graded out pretty well in some of the PFF blocking stats that they have. So this is something to be optimistic about. And let's be honest, it shouldn't really be that hard to be better than Keith Carter, who I don't think did a very good job here the last couple of years. So I would have taken just about anybody. But again, there's a little bit of an unknown because he's never served in the role and he's coming over as a tight end coach. But I think you just have to be optimistic when you see the job that they were able to do in Detroit and hope they could replicate it here.
Speaking of tight ends coach, Omari's the first to super chat. Tight end coach fired. It's the end of Ron Middleton, pour one out for Coach Ron, who went undefeated as a Jet head coach. I was at the game against Jacksonville, Zach's rookie year, when they beat Trevor Lawrence and company. But Ron Middleton, who famously gave us this great moment, is no longer with the Jets.
If it moves, hit it. If it don't move, hit it. And if you're not sure, guess what? Hit it.
And look, I love you, Ron. You gave us some great moments, some great fiery speeches, but ultimately, the tight end play in that room the last few years has not gotten better. Jeremy Rucker's been a massive disappointment.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, unfortunately, I don't think they've done a great job of developing some of their tight ends. Like, Conklin was brought in as a free agent, so he was kind of already established. But you look at Jeremy Rucker and even more of like a project like Zach Kuntz hasn't been able to, develop their game at the next level. So I'll miss his fiery speeches. I could listen to that man talk all day, but unfortunately, I just don't think he was getting the job done as the tight ends coach. So totally good with them going a different direction.
We're talking with Matt O'Leary. Comments, questions, and your super chats, of course, will always cut the line. It feels like we're trending towards an OC hire coming today. It seems like, based on some of the reports out there, that Tanner Engstrand, who's the Lions passing game coordinator, is the favorite. Him and Nick Haley are the two guys that have emerged to the top of the list. Haley is the passing game coordinator for Sean McVay and the Rams. Your thoughts on those two, and specifically, does it feel to you like Tanner's the guy?
I do. I think it is going to be Tanner Engstrand, and it's to me, it's a matter of when, not if. And I like Nick Haley. I would have been okay if that was the hire. I'll be honest with you. My favorite option was Clint Kubiak, who ended up in Seattle, because at least he had, some play calling experience. And I think did a pretty good job in both of his spots that he landed as, offensive coordinator. But with Tanner Engstrand, Aaron Glenn has the comparison there. Like he's worked in the same building as him. Dan Campbell has spoke very highly of him. I know some people are a little bit concerned because Ben Johnson didn't take him with him to Chicago, or he was passed over in a way for the offensive coordinator role in Detroit. But what I would say to that is it's been reported, at least, down at the Senior Bowl, the scuttlebutt has kind of been that he wants to call plays and he would not have gotten that opportunity in Chicago. And Detroit, they end up hiring John Morton. And if you ever listen to Tanner Engstrand speak, one of the guys that he references as a major influence on him is Morton. So it feels like they just went the route of the veteran and the guy who's the mentor and not the mentee. And I think he's ready to take on an offensive coordinator role. I get it. Some are concerned because he's never called plays, but I don't really have any concern with him being passed over, I'll say in air quotes here, for the Detroit job.
His bio is interesting, right? He started as a grad assistant under Jim Harbaugh at San Diego. He became a quarterbacks coach, an OC, an assistant head coach. He was 63-18 post Harbaugh, so he stayed on and had success when Harbaugh left. Harbaugh eventually brought him back to Michigan on his staff for a year, and obviously he was good enough to be the passing game coordinator on one of the most prolific offenses in Detroit the last few years. So it's an intriguing resume. It's once again putting faith in Aaron Glenn that he knows what he's doing. It's a lot of this when we talk about a first-time head coach, it's not just, hey, they're learning on the job. They're also learning how to hire a coaching staff. And that's what I think dooms Saleh in ultimately. And I think it's so important for Aaron Glenn to get these hires right. Absolutely. And, we talked about Steve Wilkes already on the defensive side. That's a veteran. On the offensive side, I'd really love if they would add a veteran like Todd Haley to this staff, just someone who's been a head coach, been an offensive coordinator in the league for a long time. Just so, there's guys that they could lean on who've been through it. And I think that would put Tanner Engstrand in a better place to succeed. I think you mentioned it with Robert Saleh. There probably wasn't enough veteran leadership on any of his staffs. And I think Glenn going a little bit of a different direction with a mix of young and up and comers with the veteran staff, I think is a wise choice. How do you feel about Aaron Glenn a couple days removed from that press conference, Matt? Are you fired up like a lot of other Jet fans? What are your thoughts on where we're at right now with AG? Yeah, I'm very excited about Aaron Glenn. And, he was not my number one choice for the job. That was Mike Vrabel, who ended up going to New England, as we well know. But I think what you could love about him is his intensity. I think
he made that very clear in his opening press conference. I love how he handled the media. It was 45 minutes on the job, and he put Rich Cimini in a body bag on day one. Sorry, Rich, but it was cool to see, because I think there were some unfair comparisons of him to Robert Saleh just because it was another first-time head coach and coming from the defensive side of the ball. And I just don't see a world where Robert Saleh would have handled the Aaron Rodgers questions in the way that Aaron Glenn did. And that's only half the battle, right? Like, you got to see it on the field. That's the next step, and that's what really matters. But I feel confident that he could be a leader and get guys to buy in, which is also very important.
The latest reports on Aaron Glenn's coaching staff. This is from the Athletics' Zach Rosenblatt this morning. He says Aaron Glenn started filling out his staff yesterday. DC Steve Wilkes, special teams coordinator Chris Banjo, offensive line coach Steve Hayden, and would expect more today / through the weekend. Some names to keep an eye on as potential additions. We already spoke about Tanner Engstrand. How about David Blau to be the quarterback coach? Chris Harris to be the DB coach. Blau interviewing with both the Jets and the Bears. Harris interviewed for the Jets DC job and wasn't retained by Tennessee, so he's available. Harris, I think, would make a lot of sense if he's already interviewed for the DC job. That means Glenn thought highly enough to bring him in. And there could have been some Rooney Rule stuff with that, because you got to interview two minority candidates. So maybe it was like a wink, wink. Hey, we're going to interview both of you guys. Wilkes is going to be the DC. We want you on the staff as the DB coach. So I would expect that. David Blau is an interesting one because he's a young guy. It's not that long ago he was starting a game for the Lions on Thanksgiving, I remember watching. So, he's someone that is in Washington right now as a QB coach there, and he worked with Jaden Daniels. So everyone's trying to, I guess, pick the brain of someone who oversaw the development and the performance of one of the great rookie quarterback seasons ever, if not maybe the best. So both those names, Matt, your thoughts on Blau and Harris, they intrigue me both.
Yeah, and I think you bring up, a good point here with both those guys. For me, Harris played in the league for a really long time. I think he's only out of the league like 2 or 3 years. I think him getting a DB coach job is, an appropriate first step for him to get into coaching. You look at that Detroit staff that Aaron Glenn was a part of. There were so many former players on that staff. And I think, just based on what we've heard and seen so far with Glenn, I think he's trying to recreate that a little bit. David Blau is an interesting one. He's my age. He's 29 years old, which seems crazy that, he's going to be a quarterback coach. But I feel like this is the route that the league's going. With Davis Webb was another guy who was in the league for a little bit, who then, made the jump to being a quarterback coach. And, sometimes it's not always the best quarterback ever to play in the league makes for the best quarterback coach. Sometimes it's the guy who was the second or third string guy who just was able to soak everything in and kind of take that approach to coaching. So, you can't deny what they were able to do in Washington this year. Who knows how much of a role he had in Jaden Daniels' development, but at least he was a part of a really good staff there, and hopefully could take that here, because I do think both those guys get the job.
If you're one of the 537 people watching live right now, make sure you click the like button. More importantly, subscribe to my channel right now. Click that red subscribe button you see on the right-hand side, and make sure you subscribe to Matt's channel, Matt O'Leary NY, for daily Jets content. Fire Aaron Glenn is in the house. Bring back Sexy Rexy and Mark Sanchez. Matt, your thoughts?
Well, that was the last time the Jets were good. So it'd be a lot of fun if the Jets played that way. I don't know, how old is Mark Sanchez now? He's got to be pushing 40. I don't know if he's
30, late 30s. I mean, he was the same year as Stafford, who's still in the league. I'm going to guess Mark is 36 without knowing for sure. Let's see. Mark Sanchez.
I was going to guess like 39.
Oh, you're right. 38. He turns 39 November. Damn. We're old, man. Sanchez is 38.
Yeah, that makes me feel very, very old. But hey, I get why people want and yearn for the Rex and Mark Sanchez era. It was a lot of fun. I don't love this name, though. We got to give Aaron Glenn a little bit more of a chance. He hasn't coached the game yet.
Yeah, fire Aaron Glenn. We'll see you later.
I'm not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon.
I mean, come on now, people. Everyone calm down. In AG, we trust, because we have no other choice. June writes, and I feel good about things. We just have to trust the process. We've been trusting the process, some of you, since 1969.
Yeah, it feels like a long time for me. I know we're around the same age, and this playoff drought has everyone feeling the same way. They want things to change and for the better, but hopefully this time they get it right.
Jay Coroner says Wilkes was fired by San Fran after one season, Arizona after one season. At Missouri, they gave up 250 rushing yards per game. I mean, look, you look at what happened with San Francisco. He was really good statistically, that defense. And like it almost feels like Shanahan scapegoated him a little bit, or maybe they didn't see eye to eye on philosophy because he changed the scheme. And look who's back now with the Niners. Robert Saleh is their DC. But I think if you look at the Niners defense from Wilkes' year to this past year, they regressed big time. Like, and Steve Wilkes has got a history of being a really good defensive coach. And to use the Arizona thing against him, he was one and done there. He was a head coach. So it's a little different than saying he's not good because he only was there for 1 year. I mean, they fired him with Josh Rosen as his quarterback with a bad team coming off a 3-win season.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a fair representation of Steve Wilkes. The year that he had in San Fran, I mean, they were 12th in EPA on defense and either third in yards or points and eighth in yards or points. I forget which one was which, but top half of the league in 3 very important categories, top 10 in a couple categories. He leaves, the defense gets worse. I know they had a ton of injuries this year, but still, I don't really care that he's bounced around a little bit. I think he's someone, especially like early in his career, he was there in Carolina for a few years as a defensive backs coach before eventually becoming a defensive coordinator. And most of his stops as DC has gone very well.
I have some stats I could pull up here from Steve Wilkes' last year as a defensive coordinator in 2023. Total defense, they were 8th. They were 3rd in rushing, 14th against the pass, 3rd in scoring, 2nd in interceptions, 3rd in sacks. Their PFF grade was tied for 1st with the Jets, oh, by the way. So, look, to me, Wilkes has proven to be at the bare minimum, a solid defensive coordinator, and he brings experience as a former head coach in 2 different areas. Once as a full-time head coach in Arizona, and then he was the interim head coach in Carolina, and he was 6-6 when he took over a terrible team. In fact, he had a winning record when Darnold was his quarterback at that year. So, I don't know. I think the Steve Wilkes hire is a good hire for Aaron Glenn. I understand exactly what the thought process was for making it.
100%. And like, I don't know, like, who are you expecting them to hire as a DC? Most of these guys are going, like, there's a reason why these guys are available. Most of the great and elite coordinators are holding positions, and or you can hire another first-time head coach, and then we'd be complaining about, oh, there's not enough veterans on the staff. It's too many first-time guys. So I think it's fine. I like the hire, in fact.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Jets have themselves a couple new coaches. I want the chat's thoughts on that. Which coach do you like? Which coach are you concerned about? Do you believe Steve Wilkes-Booth is the answer for Aaron Glenn and the New York Jets? As far as Darren Muji goes, Matt, I feel like we have a lot of us have like not focused in on him because it's been so much about Aaron Glenn and everything that comes with it. What were your thoughts on Muji at the press conference? What are your thoughts on him as the GM they ended up hiring?
So my opinion is I think that they are very much going to lean on Aaron Glenn, and this is going to be the Glenn show. Muji will be involved, but I think it's going to be more collaborative between Muji and Glenn than it was with Saleh and Douglas. You could also see that by the reporting structure that they have, where it's both Muji and Glenn reporting to Woody Johnson and not, the other way where it's Glenn reporting to the GM and then the GM reporting to the owner. Based on the press conference, it seems like they align on ideologies. So I look at this as it's going to be some sort of collaborative effort with Glenn being the face. And, Muji is going to deserve credit or, blame if things don't go well. But I really do think this is Aaron Glenn's show, and he's going to be the one making a lot of these decisions.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Matt O'Leary. It's interesting because Muji is going to be the guy that's going to evaluate the salary cap ramifications and everything that comes with it. But I agree with you. Aaron Glenn is the guy that, like, if there's a decision and they're not aligned, the tiebreaker is going to go to Glenn, I think, basically in every scenario.
Yeah, I would think so too. And, that's not crazy uncommon. We've seen that in San Francisco with Shanahan. I know we've brought up the example as well with Pete Carroll in Seattle. Granted, at least with Pete Carroll, he had more coaching experience at the time that he was hired, so kind of understood that. But I think the Jets have really bought into the leadership style of Aaron Glenn. And I hope it works out. He's a really easy guy to root for. Sometimes it's hard for these coaches to, shop for the groceries too and do all the coaching, but I have some faith in him. I think there's a chance this works.
Look, at the end of the day, the Jets are basically treating Aaron Glenn like they were going to treat Mike Vrabel. Like they were going to let Vrabel pick his personnel person. I'm not saying Glenn's like, get me Muji or no one else, but I mean, it felt like it was Newmark's job. Then all of a sudden, Aaron Glenn's like, let's sit in on a couple more interviews. And they end up going with Muji here. And I do like the fact, Matt, that while they know each other, they never worked together. Like, I think just taking Newmark because, he knows Aaron Glenn and let's call it a day. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if Aaron Glenn's such a great candidate, there's plenty of good GMs that want to work with him. So identify the guy that you think is best for the job, not just someone that Aaron Glenn knew for 2 years when Newmark and Glenn were in Detroit together.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it was kind of like the Jets assuming that they were going to be a package duo. And then when Glenn gets the job, he's kind of like, all right, like, I like Newmark fine, but there's other guys. Here's some other people that I think we should look at more. And, Muji, he interviewed for when he was an assistant GM in Denver. And we heard the story at the opening press conference where, Muji came away really impressed with Glenn at the time. So, yeah, I agree. I like that they went back to the well in a way, and they didn't necessarily have to sign up for someone that just worked in Detroit for forever that he knew. So I like the Muji hire more than I think I would have liked Lance Newmark.
Super chat from Blake. Thoughts on the Jets trading for Hendon Hooker? I want nothing to do with him. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, when he was drafted, he was pretty much eligible for AARP, so he's kind of up there in age already, and he only has a couple handful games of experience in the preseason too. He doesn't really do much for me.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, like, think about it. They signed Teddy Bridgewater, who was coaching high school football off the street, and he's coming in the playoff game over a guy who's been in their system the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's not a great endorsement of Hendon Hooker. If they felt the need, they had to sign Teddy Bridgewater. I like Teddy, but as you said, he was out of the NFL pretty much all year, and then he was the one who was the backup in the playoff game. So I don't think that bodes well for Hendon Hooker's future.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't, join the Patreon. A couple days left in January. And by a couple, I mean literally just 2, today and tomorrow. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get your name added to the intro. Get 20% off merch. Bonus shows, including one I posted yesterday that is exclusive to Patreon. And you get Discord access with that as well. Check it out. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. And a huge shout out to Derek, Matthew, Chris, Mad Team, Tim, and Gangrene Goliath for being our most recent Patreon subscribers. All right, we've made it almost 30 minutes, and I don't think either one of us have said the word Aaron Rodgers yet. So, Matt, your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers' future? What did you think of the comments by Glenn and Muji on Rodgers, and obviously what ultimately could happen with his future with the Jets?
Yeah, I kind of like the approach that they took where it feels like they're going to treat him like every other guy on the roster. He's just a part of the 53. And if Rodgers is to come back, I think that's the best path for success here. I've, made it clear I don't want Aaron Rodgers to come back if it's just going to be, Rodgers' offense and his guys are going to stick around and Nate Hackett and the rest of the crew will stay. But if Rodgers is open to the idea of learning a new offense and taking a pay cut and understands what's going on here, that changes the story or changes the tune a little bit for me. But I think they said all the right things. I think they handled the questions that they got well on him. They didn't go too far one way or the other saying he won't be back or he will be back. I don't know. I'm still 50-50 on it if he is going to play for the Jets in 2025. But I think we'll find out sooner rather than later. Like, I don't think this is going to drag on crazy far. I know the combine's at the end of February coming up here. So I think they know by then.
I feel like it could even happen like the week after the Super Bowl. Like, I don't think this is going to drag at all. I'm with you, especially because Aaron Glenn even said to Jay Glazer that he's going to meet with Aaron and we're not going to let it drag on. The decision will come soon. So I think they're truly doing what they said they're doing at the press conference, rewatching every game, evaluating the roster, and then they'll evaluate, hey, pros and cons of bringing Aaron back for another year versus letting him go and what the alternatives are.
Yeah, and I'm totally good with that. The sooner the better for me. And like you said, after the Super Bowl, that'd make a lot of sense. And I'm very curious to see not only with Rodgers but the rest of this roster what they come away with this new duo in their evaluation process. But Rodgers is a big part of that. If he isn't back, then that opens what the can of worms. What are you doing at the quarterback position? Is it going to be Tyrod and another veteran? Is it going to be a draft pick? How do they take this approach? So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. But as I mentioned, I think Rodgers' decision will be coming sooner rather than later.
Dante with a super chat. He cuts the line. Thank you, Dante. When it's Matt and Jake on, I have no reason to watch anything else. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Dante.
That's what it's all about. You know what, Dante? This is for you.
If it moves, hit it. If it don't move, hit it. And if you're not sure, guess what? Hit it.
Ironically, Ron Middleton getting fired the week of the Senior Bowl when he was the head coach of the Senior Bowl, where that pregame speech is from.
I was going to say that was probably his most shining moment as his time as the New York Jets head coach. It is very ironic that it's the week of the Senior Bowl that he gets let go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gusbuster hotline is open. If you want in on the conversation, click the link and join. Let's say hello. First update to Doug on the bed. Hello, Douglas.
Guys, how you doing this morning?
Doug.
I asked this question to Matt and Connor on the pregame show a couple weeks ago, but now that we know the coach, if you go back to like this team healthy, how many of the guys on the healthy roster do you think are on the Jets week 1 this year? So if you look at this year as like starting 11 on each side healthy, how many guys do you think are back on each side?
Offensively, I mean, so we're not counting Devontae then, right? Because he wasn't on the team week 1.
No. Well, if you want to say, okay, so like, let me rephrase it. If all the team is healthy, week 18 roster, team is completely healthy, how many guys do you think are back on each side? I think for the O-line, it's pretty easy. You know for sure 4 of the 5 O-linemen are back. And then Garrett's back, Brees is back. And then on the rest of the offense, it's like, I don't know.
Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis probably are back too. I mean, after that, tight end wise, Rucker's not a lock to make the team. Like he's competing for a spot this summer.
And then for defense, I think Quinnen's back.
Yep.
JJ's back.
Yep.
McDonald's back.
Yep.
Quincy's back.
Yep.
Sauce is back.
Yep.
Mike Carter's back.
Mm-hmm.
And am I missing anybody important?
No, that might be it. I mean,
those are the locks. But I could see them bringing back like Ashton Davis on a 1-year deal. I could see them bringing back Tony Adams, who's a restricted free agent on a 1-year deal.
I would say they would bring back Sherwood, but there's probably going to be a lot of people interested in him, so that one's not a guarantee. So it's interesting to see what Glenn's going to be like. Okay, this is my kind of player, because you saw Rich try to get it. What's a Samini type quarterback, or Samini got him. What's a
Samini type quarterback? Someone who's god awful that never wins, and they get to he and the beat get to make jokes about it.
It clicks for days, but no, it's interesting who Glenn's going to identify a type of players. Is he going to bring in a lot of players from Detroit? Is it going to matter? I'm very interested to see what kind of player, because I agree with you guys. This is the Aaron Glenn show. Muji, or whatever, how you pronounce his name, he's along for the ride. He will obviously help, but that's where Glenn's scouting background comes into help. He knows what to look for some of these college guys, which other coaches might not. So
did you just say Muji's along for the ride?
I didn't even know you had that one. That was just.
I don't know what I have half the time.
Caterby's coming up with everything, isn't he? But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what a Glenn type player is and how different it is. I think they should go similar to the offseason that Washington had last year. Like, get veteran guys, not like spend too big. Maybe one nicer, but like spend smartly, nothing too crazy. And then if your season works out, you go all in 25, 26, or 26, 27, and you find your quarterback. Would be my hope.
Unless they do it this year. They like someone at the end of the first round, trade back up, day 2, second round pick.
Just the quarterback class this year is so booty cheeks. I would just rather find one next year. And then obviously you fire the tight end coach. This is the year to need a tight end, because the tight end class this year is absolutely the two deepest position groups this year is the tight end and the running back. Those two are loaded. It's actually you don't need a running back this year, but there's I saw Daniel Jeremiah had Tyler Warren as a mock in the first one. I wouldn't mind that. I like Harold Fan in the junior, but you don't need to get him in the first round. If you take him in the second round, I'd love that. So tight end, get a tight end, and then sign a wide receiver, and then like for like somewhere in the offseason, get rid of Alan Lazard, cut all of Aaron Rodgers' BFFs besides Devontae Adams if Aaron Rodgers chooses to stay, and then we move from there.
Doug, it's certainly possible. What are your thoughts on quarterback, by the way, in the draft, Matt? Is there any prospect that intrigues you?
I'm more in the thought process that Doug is, that it's a booty cheeks class after the top two guys. Maybe I could sell myself on Jackson Dart.
Booty cheeks. Yep. Bobby.
I don't really like the Alabama quarterback. I think he scares me.
Jalen Milroe. Yeah.
Milroe. He was supposedly, we're talking Senior Bowl. He's had a rough go of it at the Senior Bowl this week, and you don't want to take too much or put too much stock into it, but I just have some real accuracy concerns with him, and I think he's a major project. So I don't know if this is the year to draft a quarterback. They might have to wait another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Jet Strong. Let's go, Jet Strong. He super chats us and says, would have loved to see Mangold get the O-line coach position. He wants it bad. I don't know if he does want it. I think he's coaching one of his kids right now. I don't know if he wants to be a full-time coach. I think he's probably more comfortable doing what he did last year, showing up to a mini camp or training camp and working with the guys like he did with Tippmann in that video we saw last year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, while he would be a really good candidate for the position, I don't know if he's ready to commit that kind of time that it takes. And, he's got a few young kids. He was coaching with them. And at one of the training camps I went to, he was throwing the ball. And Mark Sanchez, I think, was there throwing the ball with his kids. And I would just kind of be surprised if he wanted to leave that to get back into the NFL.
Bang Mateo says Glenn will be gone in 3 years, guys. Bang, never change. But I know people don't like Bang's constant negativity. So we have set a goal if you're watching in the live chat. It's very easy. 15 super chats of any kind. It could be $1. It could be $2. It could be whatever you want to donate to get Bang in the hole, and we will see you later. Bang Mateo. All you got to do, I think, is click on the goal in the live chat, and you have 27 minutes and 25 seconds from right now. And we will send Bang to the hole. In fact, I'm going to be the first person to send in the super chat to get it started. Bye. Bang. All right. Here we go. We're off and running. Bang.
How much time does Arthur Smith get in his next job?
God. My nightmare scenario was Glenn went to the Saints and they were going to be stuck with Arthur Smith.
Wouldn't have been good. It would have been a lot of years of Bang Mateo saying how great of a hire it would have been, but I don't think it would have went very well.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 super chat down, 14 to go. 2 super chats down, 13 to go. June the GM. Lock his ass up. The great June the GM. All right, let's get some more calls here with Matt. And reminder, if you're not a subscriber to Matt's channel, make sure you do that. And please subscribe to mine if you're watching right now. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton, who's next. What's up, Kyle?
Most coaches are gone after 3 years. That's not really an edgy thing to say.
That's true. That's why Saleh getting a 4th year, despite 3 losing seasons, was a rarity.
Right. So 6 weeks from Monday is St. Patrick's Day, gentlemen. Make sure that you pick your spot to drink your Guinness wisely, especially if you're in the city, Jake.
All right.
You don't want to be too close to the parade route.
That's right.
Because that's where the amateurs are. I could recommend a couple of places. Patty McGuire's down in Gramercy is a great place. So the coaches. I'm so old that I remember most of these coaches' playing careers. David Blau, you guys probably remember.
I do.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I bet against him on Thanksgiving a few years ago.
Yeah, he didn't really distinguish himself. Doesn't mean anything about his coaching ability.
Look at Kevin O'Connell. He's like one of the best coaches in the league at the Jets.
Exactly right. Steve Hodden, I remember, and coincidentally, he was a menace as a blocker. I don't think he was their primary tight end, but he did distinguish himself. He stood out when you were watching game action with the Browns. And then Banjo, I remember. It's hard to forget Banjo with the name. We picked Banjo or he picked us. Either way, we were picking Banjo.
There's going to be some sort of bit that someone's going to do about playing the banjo for Banjo, and I look forward to it.
Yes. And the pronunciation of Blau probably is going to come into play too.
Oh, yeah.
So Tanner Hangstrom, he was a passing game coordinator, but he came up with Harbaugh. So you're hopeful that he's going to have some strong thoughts about how is best to run the ball, because that's really what we need here. We need to establish a run game, and we need to get back to it. We need to do it effectively, whether it's Rodgers or whomever, especially if it's not Rodgers. We need to be able to run the ball effectively to reach our potential. I'm actually pretty high, excited about some of these hires, Hyden in particular, and anxious to see what Angstrom puts in. Steve Wilkes, I think, has proved himself, and so far it's been pretty good indicators from Glenn. Like, you can't do anything if he wasn't your first, second, or third choice, but you got to wish him well. And so far, I think he's acquitted himself pretty well in the first week.
Time will tell, but I'm right there with you, Kyle. Look, the Jets are giving him full power to hire his staff. That's how it should be. I think a lot of us would want more experience on the staff, and maybe there still will be. Like, I'd like some senior offensive assistants if you're going to hire Angstrom as your OC, because he's a first-time OC. But I'm a fan of the hires overall so far, especially the Wilkes hire at DC.
Yeah, me too. I think they need that kind of veteran experience on the staff. I'm hoping they add someone on the offensive side of the ball. I know I keep bringing up Todd Haley, but that's the name that's been mentioned. A lot of other people have brought up some other veteran coaches to me, like Frank Reich or oh my God, who's Jacksonville's coach that they just fired? Doug Peterson, a name like that. I think it would be interesting and worthwhile to add somebody on the offensive side of the ball, similar in the Wilkes vein.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first person to be entered in the raffle for today's show is A.D. Pugnant with 5 raffle entries because he gifted 5 channel memberships. A.D., you got a chance to win a signed Joe Willie helmet, signed Klecko helmet, signed Gastineau helmet, signed Aaron Glenn photo. Thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, free stuff for 5 people.
Free stuff.
That's 5 memberships. Judge, Ant-Mans, W. Charles, Blaze Marley, Midnight Mike, all receiving channel memberships from AD. Give AD some love in the chat. He's paying it forward for the people. Some super chats here. How about this? People not fans of Bang Mateo. Matthew does write in, though. Woody should bring back the flight crew. Matt, do you miss the flight crew?
Yeah, they should bring it back. I don't know why they got rid of it. It's fine. I'm good with the cheerleaders and the flight crew.
Burkinator says, hole him, for God's sake. Amen. Sylvie and Nico Hall. Muji.
Yes.
Am I supposed to spell that out, though? M-O-U-G-E-Y. Muji. M-O-U-G-E-Y. Muji. I
think so, by how it was laid out there with the periods. I think it flowed better the first time how you did it, though.
I agree. Bo in the house. Shout out to you, Bo. I'm excited to see our defense do something besides rush forward, drop 7. I'm probably the first to mention 1-year deal for Khalil Mack for Reddick.
He wants to retain Reddick?
Maybe he's saying he wants to sign Khalil to a 1-year deal to take the Reddick spot, maybe?
Maybe. I think he's going to stay in Los Angeles if he's going to play another year. It seems like it's a question mark whether he's going to play another year or not. It's not a bad thought. He had a couple really good games this year, but I would expect
6 sacks in 16 games, 20 tackles. I mean, I don't know. You could do worse than Khalil Mack as a rotational guy.
That's just what I was going to say. I think they'll add some sort of rotational veteran at some point in the offseason.
Bang Mateo contributing to his own whole sentence writes in, this franchise needed a veteran staff all around. Well, here's the thing, Bang. I agree with you that they need to bring in a lot of experienced coaches to help Glenn, who's a first-time coach. But I don't think you just only hire experienced coaches for the sake of, they've done it before. Like, the analogy I would give is if you're running a company, are you going to hire the guy that has a bunch of experience, or are you going to hire the guy that, you believe could one day be running the company, has that type of upside? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you do got to swing for the fences with some of these hires. You don't want to just play it safe with every single one.
Right, and you need a balance. Like, it can't all be one way where it's the veterans like you just laid out. And also, it's probably not smart to have all young staff, as we just saw with Robert Saleh. So I'm with you. I think you need balance here.
Super chats, cut the line. 25 says, bang, hole now. Hashtag group gang. Man, Bang Mateo, you're in some deep you-know-what. Eiston says, can't wait for Hackett to cry about how it's all Woody's fault. It's the NFL coaching staff version of hashtag me too. Hackett's still employed, by the way.
Yeah, what do you think his day-to-day is like?
You think he shows up to the office?
I think so. I think he probably just goes to his office. No one really talks to him, and then someone walks by and like, oh, shit, Hackett's still here. Forgot about him.
Nate Hackett. One of the higher paid OCs in football I saw. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that was worth it, clearly.
I think he makes $3 million a year.
That's gross.
What a world. Rick Kent, $10 super chat. Thank you, Rick. By the way, $20 super chats will get you 5 raffle entries for those curious. David Blau was one of the bubble player stories on Hard Knocks with the Lions a couple of years ago. His story was interesting. I think he'd be a good quarterback coach. I believe his wife was a Olympic track runner or a swimmer. She was on the U.S. Olympic team in 2022 because I remember there was a scene in Hard Knocks, to Rick's point, when they were watching her compete as a team.
Okay. I didn't realize. I remember that scene. I didn't remember that it was his wife. That's actually pretty cool. And like you mentioned with Kevin O'Connell, like he wasn't a great NFL quarterback, but he's a great coach. There's plenty of examples of that, and I see no reason why David Blau can't be one of those guys.
Doug with a 16-month as Maniac super chat. Thank you, Doug. I think Kyle Clifton stole my couch. It makes sense why I've not been on it much anymore. Also, send bang to the gulag. The gulag. I love that. Yeah, I mean, Kyle Clifton and Doug do have very similar couches, I will say. Burkinator again says, bang! Bye.
Bang.
Mike Breenboys, Gator, make it happen. Bang Mateo, we will see you later. 4 super chats away from the end of Bang, thank God. Sylvie and Nico Hall, the Muji. Matt, will you take a stab at this one?
The Mougey, Muji, Mougey, Muji, Mougey, Muji.
Hell yeah. By the way, there's 724 people in here right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get your AGHC shirts if you haven't at jakeasman.com. We now have them available in hoodies as well. Tony writes in, you hire the guy that can bring the best stats to develop a quarterback and score points. Anyone going into the cycle saying that's Engstrand or happy about that is lying. Well, how would you know? What if Tanner Engstrand's the next Ben Johnson? How do you know he's not?
Yeah, I don't know if how's that a fair how's that fair to Engstrand here? We don't know what he's done in Detroit. He could have been a really big part of Jared Goff's career turnaround. We don't know.
I actually did hear that Goff was a big fan of his, so I'm surprised that Campbell didn't just promote him to OC.
Yeah, it seemed like that was their plan last year, but John Morton was available, and Campbell loves John Morton, so I wasn't really all that surprised to see him end up as the OC.
I love John Morton. He was the best OC we've had since Shoddy, if you think about it.
It probably was. That as crazy as that might sound, there was only that 1 year, but that passing offense was pretty efficient, especially when McCown was healthy.
Beastbreaker writes in, we're the New York Jets. We're built for this shit.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I agree with him. I just hope Aaron Glenn's right. We're definitely built to handle the pain of being a Jet fan because it's all we know. But it'd be nice to be rewarded for that.
I was going to say that I'm used to. It'd be nice to get back to what it felt like, growing up in the 2000s where there were actually some playoff games to get excited about.
Boomtown with an excellent question for you. He says, Matt, who do you have winning as Maniac March Madness?
So what's the bracket look like? I need some choices.
So hasn't been set yet. Last week of February, we're going to put it together. And, I mean, we got 68 people. It's going to be insane.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to fill out a bracket when it comes out. It's really hard to pick against the Lane train, though. I feel like he's going to go on a little Cinderella run.
I will send you a link to fill out a bracket. We're running a contest. The winner's going to get. I have to figure out what the winner's going to get. It could be a merch item. Maybe it will be something Jet memorabilia. But whoever has the most accurate bracket is going to win a prize, which is going to be awesome.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's Nuts is in the house, and he says, bye, bang.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 super chats away from the end of Bang Mateo. Make sure you respond directly to the goal in the live chat. King Lowski says, get bang gang punk ass out of here. King
That's
Lowski.
That's one guy I wouldn't want to piss off, King Lowski.
No. Definitely not. Definitely not. All right, we'll get to more of your calls as we're on Bang Mateo to the whole watch. Let's say hello right now to June, the GM. What's up, June?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Matt, you a calm customer, man. You like Jaden Daniels on the sideline in the playoffs, man. Cool dude. Check it out. I saw the painful Talk of the Town 1981 Jets again, little documentary on YouTube, and it brought back the memories of the New York Stock Exchange. To think if Jermaine Johnson comes back healthy, is a big if because it takes around 2 years from an Achilles. But then we got McDonald. Man, wouldn't that be nice to have two young gunners with 15 sacks each? I think that's how I think we have to start with the defensive line. We have to plug in that run in the draft. Draft Tyler Warren. We haven't had a Bravaro type tight end, or we haven't had a talented tight end since Dustin Keller to me. And I think we're at a point in our Jets life that we need to take risk, right? Like Al Pacino said, there's a risk not taking risk, right? Who else are we going to have for OC? Another retread, a dude who's in the middle of the pack, 15th to 18th as an OC. Nah, I like Tanner. I like that he came from Jim Harbaugh's coaching tree. And I could it be any worse? Could it be any worse than what we had?
No.
So now let me ask you a question to both of you. Do you think that it's essential that we bring in an older person to overlook the OC to help them out in this transition?
Yeah, I think they need a senior assistant. Like Todd Haley's name's been mentioned. He's got ties to the Jets. He's got ties to Glenn. He's been a coach in the league a long time. He's a hard ass. He'd be a good help for a first-time OC. That's what I think you want to potentially do.
And so far, have you guys seen any type of hire? Because I like the hire so far, but is there any type of hire that you're kind of scratching your head wondering, I don't know about this one so far?
Well, just the O-line coach, because you just don't know. Like, you know, in a dream scenario, you could just get, you know, Bill Callahan or Jeff Statlin, but, you know, you're putting your faith in Aaron Glenn's ability to identify good coaching.
And aside from the obvious OC hire that we need to have, what would you say is the second most important hire that we need to make to the coaching staff remaining?
For me, I think I'd go quarterback coach. That's really important, especially if they're eventually going to get a young quarterback in here. I don't know if it'll be this year or not, but they're going to need to develop a young quarterback at some point. So they got to get that hire right too.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It is time to do something that needed to be done because the Asmaniacs demanded it. Big fella, send him to me. Ladies and gentlemen, that has done it. We have reached the required amount of super chats to set the bounty goal. We will now officially say farewell to Bang Mateo. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. Hey, Gator, I think it's about time we add a custom one for Bang. We just use his head. I mean, he gets sent to the hole what feels like every other day these days. Back-to-back days for sure for Mr. Bang Mateo. Bang! Bang! Farewell. By the way, Bang contributed to his whole fund. He says we don't have the infrastructure to develop a rookie quarterback. Maybe not yet, but they could. Like, I think if you keep building up the roster, like, I'll tell you what, if they go quarterback this year, that quarterback is stepping into a way better situation than Darnold and Zach Wilson stepped into as far as weapons, protection, and seemingly coach.
Yeah, I don't agree with this, especially like assuming 4/5 of the offensive line's figured out. You have Garrett Wilson. You might still have Devontae. We don't know.
Brees Hall.
You have Brees Hall, who they've just refused to give the ball to. I don't know why. Give him a couple games where he gets 20 carries this year, please. And your hope that it's a better coaching staff than any of the ones, they had previously. So I don't think that's a fair description.
Super chat from Sylvie and Nico Hall. You didn't get it. Do you remember Method Man on his song? The Method Man, Method Man. I replaced Method with Muji.
METHOD, man. There we go.
Okay, that went over my head, but now I get it.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that either.
Shout out to Method Man. He did a great job narrating the sack exchange 30 for 30 doc. Bang says it's cool. The truth hurts. I never lie. This is before I sent him to the hole.
Perfect.
Arthur Smith, greatest coach ever, Bang.
The GOAT.
More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what time it is, Matt?
What time is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bobby Midnight time.
Well, you know, I need to find Matt O'Leary. He's supposed to come on my show. I want his butt on a stick. Bobby.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing this lovely Thursday morning?
Hello,
How
Bob.
is Nick and yesterday? We won, right? We
Knicks did win. They played very well. They are red hot right now. Love to see it.
Yeah. They were one game behind Celtics, right?
That sounds right. They're right there with them.
Yeah, I think so. And then didn't we sign an offensive coach and defensive coach right now? Didn't we sign?
Have you been watching the show, Bob?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so we talked about the coaches
Okay,
they hired.
I think you said okay. Oh, you mean the assistants, you mean?
Yes.
Huh?
Who else would they be
that's
hiring?
right.
They already hired Aaron Glenn.
Okay, you meant their assistants. Okay, gotcha. Okay. And then they hired the offensive and defense coach, didn't they?
So clearly you weren't listening to the show, Bob.
Yeah, no, I know. They did it last night, right? You had a big thing about it.
Steve Wilkes, baby.
Yeah, Steve Wilkes is good. Wasn't he on the 49ers, too?
He was their DC.
Yeah, a long time ago, right? I remember. He's a pretty good guy. So,
Pastor Carlos says, Bobby, wake up.
Okay, Pastor, go pray for yourself. Thank you.
That was good.
I'm in a good mood. I'm doing good. I lost 20. How many did I lose? 27 pounds, something like that.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm in weight loss. I feel good. I walked this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, some breaking news, Bobby. It needs to be addressed immediately here. Bang
What?
Mateo, give him an A for effort. He has returned from the hole under a different username. Mateo Bang. I give you credit for the creativity, Mateo Bang. Farewell.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Yep, so he deserved that. He comes with the worst takes ever in Jets. And we saw him. I cheer for the Jets too. I give Jets credit this year. They're going to do good this year. I'm not predicting any records yet. And then let's see what is it going. Matt Louie, how you doing? Good.
I'm doing fantastic. Better that you're here.
I might not have my haircut tomorrow. We're going to get freezing rain up here tomorrow morning.
Oh, what do you mean? You can't get a haircut if it's raining outside?
Freezing rain. Michael does not like to drive in the freezing rain.
I see. And what about this Burger King interview? I'm starting to think it's never happening.
No, it's coming up. The lady said give her a couple more days. And
a couple more days? What is this?
I just called her up yesterday. I just called her up yesterday. She said, give me a couple more days. She's been busy.
What's the story on Burger King?
She called me honey when I called her up the first time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, the woman on the phone said honey to Bobby.
Yeah, no manager would say that to you, you know? That's she doesn't even know me to begin with.
I think she wants you.
Oh, she sounded sexy. I don't know if she's a girlfriend, wife, husband. I don't know. She did tell me if she was single.
Maybe they're looking for a third.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh yeah. We're doing good. We're gonna have a friend on tonight later. Jeff today? No Jeff.
No Jeff this week. He's busy moving.
Oh yeah, he's into his new house like Matt O'Leary did.
That's right.
That's right.
He lives in Arizona though. Nice weather over there. Crappy weather up here. Yeah, it was 50 in New York yesterday.
He lives in Vegas. He doesn't live in Arizona.
Oh, Vegas. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's warm too.
Oh yeah.
But it was 50 yesterday in New York.
It was.
Very nice.
And up here was snowing. The night before it was freezing up here. I got to get out of Vermont. Vermont stinks. Ugh. Can't stand it.
All right, here's what we're going to do right now, Bobby, because Matt is an excellent interviewer as well. We're going to ask you some questions to get you ready for this Burger King interview.
All
right.
Yes.
So we're gonna get you prepared. All right. We could practice this a couple times.
I did this with remember Lane Train? Not Lane Train. No, Cheese Fair.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you questions. All right.
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
All right. You're Bobby Midnight. I'm what's this woman's name that called you honey at Burger King?
Heather.
Okay. I'm Heather from Burger King. You ready?
Yep.
Hey, Bobby. Why are you interested in this position?
Because I like to cook and I love working. I need to work part-time though. I can't work full-time.
What do you mean you can only work part-time? What are your hours?
My hours, because
what is your availability?
I can't get over 24 hours.
Well, that's not part-time, Bob.
Yes, it is. Part-time is 24 hours. 40 hours? No, not a day. 24 hours a week.
Oh, man.
So you're looking for 24 hours a week. How many days per week?
Well, whatever you need me. 5 days.
Are you available to work 5 days a week?
Yeah, 5 days a week. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do some math here. What's 24 divided by 5?
Oh, God. My math's
like 4-hour shifts a day.
Yeah.
Plus a little
bit. That's what I was doing at the hotel. Yeah, is that good?
You're hired.
Oh, wow. That was quick, Heather. Oh, honey. Nah, I don't think she's going to do that. She probably asked me my old job. I worked at McDonald's down. Remember when they took my license away?
Hold on. So the boss above me, Bobby, is Matt. Matt is the regional manager of all Burger Kings in Vermont, and he's got some follow-up questions for you before I could officially sign off on giving you the job.
Yeah, I was wondering, what would you do if you saw another employee stealing from Burger King? What would you be your plan of action?
Of course, I would tell you guys.
Okay, good.
I'm honest.
Good morals, then. Good morals, Jake. I like this.
I don't like to steal.
Now, Bob, would you confront the person that you see stealing?
Yes, I'm not chicken shit. I was put chicken shit out. I would be chicken to do.
Are you trained in martial arts? If we needed you to de-escalate the situation,
arts. No martial arts.
And what is your experience as a fry cook? Any previous experience?
Yes, I worked. Well, for my first job, I worked breakfast and lunch cook for 4 years straight. Then I worked at McDonald's down in Massachusetts, which they took my license away, which I was not happy about.
Interview question from the chat. Bobby, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Should you?
Well, I don't know. 5 years from now.
Great question.
Now I'm 61 years old, almost retiring, maybe.
Retiring?
I don't know. I'm 61, going to be in 5 years.
Could you see yourself in a management role at Burger King?
No, I do not want to be a manager. Nope.
Okay.
I don't like to be stressed out. I get stressed out and something. I don't want
Matthew with a super chat. Bobby, how would you handle an unhappy customer?
Well, first I would say, let me hear your complaint, and then I give it to my manager.
Good answer.
Okay. Tom A says, are you a people person? Do you have a short fuse should a customer complain about in order?
Tom Ace, you know I'm a people person. Stop. I'm always a people person.
BX Farrow says, Bobby, if someone complains about the fries being cold, what do you do?
Oh.
Well, just say sorry about that, and we'll make you a fresh new one. Customer's always right.
That's a good line.
It is.
Big Fella says, at this point, Bobby should grow his hair out. He could be the next Fabio with all the weight he lost.
No, I'm going to cut it on hopefully Friday. It doesn't rain.
All right.
Tomorrow.
So we're expecting next week for the actual interview?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And
All right.
my haircut looks good. Hopefully tomorrow.
All right, well, this is a good dry run. We'll practice again this afternoon, all right?
All right, I'll be on this afternoon. No
I have
problem.
Green Bean coming on. He's an expert. He's had like every job.
Oh, I
ever.
love Green Bean. He's a great guy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Michael loves Green Bean. Michael loves him. Matt, you're a great guy. It was
Thank you.
nice talking to you. Nice to see everybody. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.
Ladies and
Bye,
gentlemen, Bobby Midnight.
Well, you know, I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Unless Jake has a show, I'm Bobby.
Matt, excellent job out of you with the job interview questions and your insight on the Jets as always.
Happy to do it. It's a great time as always on the Jake Asman Show.
Matt O'Leary, NY. Subscribe to his channel. Anything coming up on the channel that you need to share with the Asmaniacs, Matt?
We're just reacting to all the coaching news. I have a video that came out this morning on the most recent hires, and we'll see if there's a new OC by the end of the day. I wouldn't be surprised.
Hell yeah. Matt, thank you very much for hopping on.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon.
He's Matt O'Leary. My name is Jake Asman. We continue now. Gusbuster Hotline link is pinned. If you want in on the conversation, hit the like button. There's 617 of you in here right now, and we have a lot still to get into. Peter Castro sent in $2. Peter, you on delay? I'm guessing this was for Bang Mateo, but that already happened. We sent his ass to the hole. We do have some memberships to announce. Ryan McCarthy's in on the Joe Namath raffle. Let's go. 5 channel memberships were just gifted. Sound the alarm. Ryan, thank you for this. Truly appreciate it. Me and my dog, JG, Sammy Kukuki, El Bupo, all receiving channel memberships right there. Appreciate that. I got open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Kyle Clifton writes in, Knicks are hot, but they ain't the Johnnies. Johnny's red hot, man. Big game at the Garden on Saturday. And they're playing Providence, right? Both the Knicks and the Johnnies are excellent this year. How about that? When was the last time we could say that about both at the same time? Johnnies against Providence, 12 p.m. Saturday at MSG. I'm hosting on, actually, no, I'm not hosting on Mad Dog. I'm hosting at noon on Sunday. Oh, by the way, I should have said this earlier. I'm on ESPN Radio tonight nationally. Sirius XM channel 80, if you want to listen in. I haven't done a national show for ESPN in a while because I've been doing all the ESPN New York shows, but I'm filling in tonight with Ian Fitzsimmons from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on ESPN Radio. So tune in. You'll hear my voice. The big fella has gifted a membership. He is in the raffle.
Free stuff.
You want an Aaron Glenn signed photo, big fella? You want a signed Mark Gastineau helmet? You want a signed Joe Klecko helmet? You want a signed Joe Namath helmet? I spent a fortune on this. Well, now you have a chance to win. Steve's Aquatics. You're in. You're now a channel member, courtesy of Big Fella gifting you one. All right. If you want in, click the Gusbuster hotline link. It is pinned in the chat, so that is the best way to get on. I just posted it again. He's been waiting on hold. He has a lot to say. Ladies and gentlemen, right now it is time.
Breaker 666 $50 will send his ass to the hole where there's no gabagool.
Good day, Beast.
Buenos dias, amigo. ¿Cómo está?
Oh, Beast, the
How you
internet's a
feel?
little choppy. What's wrong with the internet?
Oh, you got me here. How do I look?
Well, you look great as always. You look handsome.
Well, with these Terminator glasses on, I can just go, I'll be back. I think we're going to be fine. Oh, to that dum-dum that you sent to the hole, that guy is a low IQ, dumber than toilet paper, and I'm talking this crappy guy you get at a construction site. If I ever see that guy, I would have bitch slapped him like I was his daddy. What an idiot.
Bang Mateo. Yeah, not a fan of Bang Mateo.
He's a dummy. I swear to God, if he was my kid, I would have slapped him upside the head and told him, hey, dickhead, get your head out of the toilet and learn to listen a little better. We're veterans around here. You're a rookie. And you know what rookies get? To the toilet. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Hey Beast, why are you sideways? By the way, the last couple calls you've been
my
sideways.
phone's a little crooked at the moment. Just trying to see what the hell's going on. That's okay. I'm fine with it.
Flip it around. Flip it the opposite direction.
Oh, wait. There we go. Starts with a smile.
There you go.
Hey, yo, what I'm wearing today.
Honestly, this is perfect.
Good
You
old
look
fashioned.
great.
Hey, ACDC is one of my all-time favorites. You know who I'm talking about. Good old fashioned highway to hell. But I think we're going to be fine this season. Everybody needs to relax. Have an orange juice. We got Knicks basketball who is red hot right now. Our Rangers are doing great. Baseball's coming up. Anybody ready for Yankee baseball? Anybody ready for Mets baseball?
Yeah.
Come on. You guys should be ready for baseball season. It's coming up. Get your hats ready. Get prepared for this. And don't worry. We got 6 months away. We got the NFL draft to worry about. We got preseason to worry about. Have an orange juice. Go to the gym. Go bowl. Go to the Knicks game. Have some fun. If you don't have any fun with yourself, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Complain, won't be grown? No. Go out and enjoy. Have fun. And to our boys, we're the New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
Amen.
Easy or hard. We're too tough to break.
Hey Beast, let me ask you something.
Throw me a curveball.
Right now, you're upside down. You know what you remind me of, or who you remind me of?
Throw me a hurt.
You remind me. You remind me of Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man when he's about to make out with Kirsten Dunst.
Hey, I have that movie, and you know who else was in that movie? The great Macho Man Randy Savage, especially when it's like going, "Hey, freak show! Hey, freak show! I got you for 3 minutes. You're going nowhere. And you know what I mean by you're going nowhere? I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Don't you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just remember this is New York City. And we the fans are going to kick your ass. And remember that, we, the New York Jets, are bigger, we're better, and we're hungrier. And we're going to eat every team alive.
Beast, great call. Honestly, you might be a better caller upside down than normal. That was tremendous. Great job. By the way, his Macho Man Randy Savage impression was pretty good. That was excellent. Great call, Beast. Well done. Well done. And while that call was happening, Bobby Midnight gifted a channel membership to be in on the raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, your name, you hear it called, you got a membership. Javo Villasana got Bobby's gifted membership there. But wait, there's more. Uno Jets is in our next raffle for 5.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
That's 5 memberships gifted from Una. Una, thank you very much for supporting me and this channel. Travis, Adam, Break Studio, Alex, and Chris all receiving channel memberships right there. Super chat I just saw that came in here from Easton. He needed the blood to get to his head to think. It's normally too thick. Hey, Beast made some salient points there, Easton. You can't deny that. But he did remind me of Spider-Man and Mary Jane in Spider-Man, the first one with Tobey. By the way, Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man, okay? Not that I'm anti-Holland and Garfield. They're great too, but Tobey's my guy. Nick says, worst caller on the show. I disagree with that one. I think Beast makes some salient points. Yesterday, Beast told us he has a guinea pig. We met his guinea pig, which was incredible. I mean, come on now. Yesterday was an all-timer. Beast Breaker and Gary going at it. Can you give us like a boxing tutorial on the show?
So the jab, that's a 1. Right cross.
You think you take Beast Breaker?
I'm pretty sure I could beat Beast Breaker in a fight.
What gives you the confidence?
The physical appearance of Beast Breaker and having been in countless fights.
What do you mean the physical appearance?
He can't get out of bed.
That's not true. He definitely can get out of bed. He's up. Yeah.
That's training 101. Welcome to my classroom, Gary.
Hey, you did get out of bed. Good for you.
Get up, sunshine! Ah! I think it's called fear, son. I think it's called fear.
Yeah. Sit down before you have a heart attack, Beast.
That's scary enough to knock one eye out. Oh, look, you little fuck. I got something for you. Come on down. Who's next? Come on. Who wants a little?
He looks to be in great physical condition.
Yeah, baby.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. The enemy confronts you, he's the enemy. Just bring it all you got. You're all just a bunch of little babies with no guts.
I mean, I learned a lot there, Gary.
Yeah.
We all can learn a lot from that. We really can. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. How many likes we up to? 262. But there's 600 people watching. The math's not mathing. So click that like button if you haven't already. Comments, questions, super chats will continue to cut the line around here. Aaron Glenn, at his press conference the other day, was asked specifically what he's looking for in hiring a coordinator. Now that he has hired 2 of the 3 he will need to hire, I thought it'd be good to look back on what he said then, and let's see how it potentially translated to what the Jets did yesterday.
When you're looking at defensively, like you said, you want to bring in your defense coordinator, he's going to run your defense.
Yep.
Ideally, is it someone that's from your background or runs a similar scheme as you, or can it be something completely and totally different?
I'm looking for the best coach.
Okay.
That's all I'm looking for. A guy that's going to be compatible. And that doesn't have to be from somebody that I had. That can be across the league. Listen, when I go through the interview process, everything is on the table. And the best coaches will be here.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to say, right? And we have a mix of experience and inexperience so far, which is fine. You just got to trust that Aaron Glenn is a football guy who could hire a great staff. That's it. You guys want to laugh? So I'm going to the Super Bowl next week, right? Radio Row, doing our show from New Orleans. And you get all these emails from like PR people promoting different things. They might have like athletes available for you to interview in exchange for like the plug. You guys know this. I just got invited to attend the American Cornhole League. They're doing an event with NFL stars. Dion Dawkins, Steve Smith Sr., Andre Reed, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kyron Williams, Alexander Madison, and Sam Darnold. Hey, Jake, we'd love to have you come out and experience. If interested, reach out directly to me. Should I go watch Dion Dawkins play cornhole? And then say hello to Sam. Say, we miss you. We're sorry that the Jets are so stupid they hired Adam Gase. You know. Cornhole is fun, by the way. Are NFL quarterbacks good at cornhole because they're accurate throwers of a football? Are they accurate throwers of cornhole? I don't know. Taylor says, go there and heckle that tub of lard. That is true. I could try and heckle the tub of lard that is Dion Dawkins.
Into the shadow realm you go.
I don't really look too much into like who we're going after and all of this stuff, but as long as like we're not getting no Jets guys, like I'm good. Let's get this thing done.
What you saying, huh? That's what I'm talking about.
Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We'll end the show unless any more people call in here. We still got 600 people watching live right now, which I truly do appreciate. Reminder to all, we're back today at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be joined by the great Green Bean Jets fan, our guy GB. So we have Matt on this show. We have Green Bean this afternoon. So we have 2/3 of the Talking Jets crew. By the way, we're looking for more advertising here in 2025. Our show continues to grow, and we have more sponsorship packages available. So if your business, your brand is interested, shoot me an email, asmanjake@gmail.com. And I will connect you with my marketing folks, and we will work something out for you. asmanjake@gmail.com. All the info, if you forget, is in the description box. Brandon says, Dion has the same trainer as Beastbreaker. Huh. Damn. Matthew says, you should go and ask Ryan Fitzpatrick why he didn't do any work in the 2016 offseason other than play golf and chase his 7 kids around, and if he's surprised he played like dog shit. I probably will not ask him that, Matthew, but I see your point. Yo Holmes says, I thought green bean was a vegetable. Dun-dun-dun. Brandon, I heard Diddy played with a lot of cornholes. He might have. Gilbert says, how would I treat a New England football fan? I despise them, so not well. Beastbreaker says, hey, trollheads, my guinea pig is a baby. You idiots. Do we have a name for your guinea pig, Beast? Let me ask him. Beast, what's the name of your guinea pig?
Wait. Hey, little Joey's my little boy. So
Joey?
to all the crybabies on here, hey, don't be insulting my guinea pig, or he'll be facing this. In the words of some people, someone once said, when you mess with Spike, you mess with death. Am I right?
Amen. Amen, Beast. Nobody messes with your guinea pig, baby. Well said, Beast. Great guinea pig. That was an epic reveal yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, I can only play the cards I'm dealt, which is why joining us on the Gusbuster hotline for the second time today is the only other person on hold.
I wanted to tell you, when you mentioned cornhole, that's why I called. Guess who else was invited from the New Jersey Shore to play?
Who?
Mike the Situation.
Oh, he's going to play in the Cornhole League?
No, he played in last season's Cornhole League. He was with, there was football players, other kind of players too. Yeah, that as soon as you mentioned that, I have to tell you.
I see.
It was
I
good.
see.
His team didn't do too good, though. He was practicing a lot. Do you know how to play the game?
Do I know how to play cornhole? I do.
Okay, good. You're one step above him. That's good.
You don't know how to play cornhole?
You have to throw these bean bags on the thing, right?
You throw the bean bag. You try and throw it through the hole.
Yeah. I played that a few times.
Have you?
I'm not a professional like sports. I do for fun.
Give us an idea on how you are throwing the cornhole. Give us a little little tutorial.
Yeah, you gotta flip it up with your. You gotta
stand up, and give us a little I want to see the form.
Full screen then.
Yep.
All right. Full screen.
Okay, here we go.
I don't think you gotta see my hand. Can you see my hand?
Yeah, you probably have to take a step back.
Yeah, that's true. I'm too close to the camera. I'm right here, so this is usually how I do it. I tell you. Can you see me now, right?
I see you. Yep.
See myself. So I go like that.
It's good form.
Yeah. I don't know if I do it the right way. And I love to bowl too.
Oh, give us a bowl.
Okay, I'll try from back there. I gotta get back there. Move back a little bit. I know. I got it. Like that.
Oh, that was beautiful. Now, okay, someone in the chat, Chris wants to know how you flip burgers. Give us do you have a spatula handy by you? Go get a spatula.
I don't have one right now.
You don't have one in your kitchen?
Yeah, I do.
Go get it.
I have to watch it. It's
okay. It's for the tutorial. Just get it. It doesn't need to be clean. It's not touching anything.
Yeah, you really want? Okay, I'll just.
Yeah, we're trying to get you in the right headspace for this interview. We want you to get the job.
I got it over here. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on a minute.
All right, here we go. Bobby's on his way, folks. Dun, 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 dun.
I just gotta get my.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, I did watch it last night.
Dun, 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 dun.
I did watch.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's the Chariots of Fire.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's the Chariots of Fire, right?
Dun, 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 dun.
Is that the Chariots of Fire?
Here we go, baby. Oh, look at that spatula.
Was it that the Chariots of Fire theme song?
Yeah, exactly.
I watched that movie. That was good. Okay, this is how I flip.
All right. Now take a step back. We can't see it.
Oh, okay.
All right, right there. You're on the grill, baby.
And then I think at those places, they like McDonald's, they have these machines to put the meat down anyway, so you really don't need to flip them. Just to take them off the grill.
Pretend like it's a Krabby Patty.
Krabby Patty?
Yeah.
Oh, that's SpongeBob, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's your favorite show. How's that? Good?
Oh, yeah. People are saying you got to be faster, though. They're saying it's fast food. You got to be quick.
Yeah.
No. Now you're doing a circular motion. I need real flippage here. Got to flip that burger.
Flip.
Boom.
How's that?
A Gator with a good point. Are you comfortable being on your feet for 8 hours a day? Might need to practice that before committing to any job.
Well, I said 4 hours, like part-time Gator. Is that Gator over that?
That's Gator, yep.
4 hours a week, remember, 4 hours a day. We already went over that in the interview with you.
Nate says that your burger hit the ceiling. You got to be careful. You don't want to hit the ceiling when you actually flip.
Yeah, I guess the last one did. Okay, I'm all done.
All right.
How was good?
I thought it was one of your best calls.
Yeah, well, remember when the worst call when I was getting into the chair. That's crazy. Remember the chair one for Sarah? No, for Aurora. She wasn't feeling good the other day. She wanted to sing to her, but I don't know what to sing to her. I sang to Jay Grace the other day for her birthday. She was happy twice. I was saying something. All right, so that's what I wanted to, when you mentioned cornhole, I just wanted to mention that. Mike, the Situation played cornhole. They went down, I think it was like Kentucky or something. They went. I got to look it up. I'll tell you later.
Chef Kevin wants to know, do you season your burgers?
Yes, I do. Do you season
Taylor
your
says you're getting this job.
I hope so, too. I'm pretty positive. I got the hotel job on my own. Well, I even get.
Hold on a second. Joshua going up and in on you, Bob. We'll give you a chance to respond. If BK hires this slob, he'll be on trash detail. He's never touching any food.
Okay, Joshua. Oh, this guy I can't stand in the chat. All right. So, can we do me a favor? Can you come on and talk to us? Because you are chicken shit every time. You like to talk about people in the chat, especially about me. So get on now and talk.
Yeah, I don't like this from Joshua. Joshua, how dare you? We'll see you later.
Into the shadow realm you go.
Aaron Rodgers being voted the most inspirational Jet by his teammates is legit one of the saddest things I've ever heard.
He puts everybody down. You know, he loves to type about people. He never, like, shows face.
He's a typing warrior.
Yes, typing warrior. We call those people.
That's No Ghost wants to know, if you had a special Whopper named after you, what would be on it?
Let's see. Probably mayo. Bacon. Less. No tomato. I'm not a big tomato fan. And provolone cheese.
Gator says, will they let you wear the bathrobe?
No, I don't think so. That's not going to be part of the uniform, fortunately.
I see.
Probably gonna be like they usually, I think they wear black ones now, black uniforms. Or was that McDonald's?
I'm not sure.
I think it's either one in blue or black. I think it's McDonald's is black.
Now, Yo Holmes brings up a good point here. If you worked at McDonald's, they could give you a special McBobby burger.
Yeah, well, I used to work there down in Massachusetts.
So what are we calling it at BK then? JT already has it. The Bopper.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that Bopper.
Yep.
Yes, that's a good one. Bopper.
You'll be the director of Bopper Operations.
Bopper Operations. Yes, I like that one, JT. Thank you very much.
Snowball says, remember, lettuce will kill you. Yeah, be careful.
Oh, I'm the one who gave him yesterday his thing, Snowball, his membership.
Curly wants to know, will there be a spinoff called Bobby's Burgers if he gets the job?
I don't know. There's a cartoon now called Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, but this is Bobby's Burgers, the spinoff.
Yeah, that's true. It could be Bobby's Burgers. Yeah. I could be the character Peter Griffin. And
Taylor with a great name. Your special burger at Burger King is the Big Bopper.
Oh, yeah. Wait till March. Yeah. Hey, next day he's coming up here live for the last weigh-in.
I love that.
Mm.
Hopefully he has no car problems the morning of.
What
Shout
you
out to
say?
Nate.
He has a good car. Maybe he'll rent one.
All right, Bob. I think we covered a lot of ground here. All right, you keep us posted
Yeah,
on
no,
the interview.
I couldn't believe you. Oh, you got more people. Okay, I'll go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Goodbye.
Bobby Midnight.
Well, you know that Al's a lying crap of crap. You should check out my new hat. The Jets are freaking awesome. Bobby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rasta Dread at the buzzer has gifted a membership to get in on the raffle. Love that. Rasta, Jerry Spence is the one who received your membership. I will get you down in our raffle for one. Birkin says, Bobby, work the window and give out channel memberships. Now, that would be something. I'm going to send Bobby up with a bunch of Asmaniac stickers and magnets to give to people. It's included with their Whopper. Good comment from Curly. Bobby becomes a cartoon character. It becomes full circle. Referencing the video I played at the end there. Gator says, what do you think about the Jets? Asking for Lane. I feel all right about them. Gator and Lane. Nick says, is Charles awake? He might be, but he hasn't called in. He might be. Anyhow, that does it. We're back at 4 with Green Bean, and I'm on the radio tonight for 2 hours. So busy day for me. Thanks to everyone who supports this channel, man. January was a huge month. We're feeling good about our Jets. Well, I guess as well as one can feel about a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 14 years, but who's counting? Obviously, we didn't get Charles today, so I'll give you this.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
You're welcome. All of you are welcome. I'm going to end the show with a way to get us fired up. If you haven't heard the official Gator McCluskey, Aaron Glenn anthem, well, guess what? You're going to hear it right now. Thanks for watching. See you guys in a few hours. Like the video. Stop what you're doing and like. And then subscribe. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. Go Jets, everyone. Take it away, AG.
If I wanted this job, put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit. There's nothing better than having you start here as a player, here as a scout, and now here as a head coach. And I'm ready for it. It's all about the Jets. This is bigger than me. I look forward to this. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.